Hey everybody, Cheryl here from Healthy Living Garden to Table, and today we are going to be making a sweet potato garbanzo spinach soup. Anyway, it's a vegetable soup that is very hearty and will keep you warm come these winter months. I'm here in Michigan and the months in January are always very cold, so soup always hits the spot really well. So let's get started. What's in this? We're going to start out with a big stock pot. We're going to put the heat on that. Okay, and then we're going to start with a red onion. I like red onions better. They're a little sweeter than the white onions, unless you get a Vidalia onion. That would also be really yummy in this as well. So whatever you have on hand is what I always say. Give that a quick dice. There we go. And then I'm going to put some grapeseed oil in the pan. I've been using that as opposed to olive oil because the smoke point is actually better, and you're not supposed to put that high of a heat and smoke point with olive oil because it gives off a toxicity or something to that effect. So anyway, I thought, well, let me just try it. It really doesn't give much of a flavor anyway. Okay, then now while that's cooking, I'm also gonna add the sweet potato. Now, you can use 2 to 3 sweet potatoes depending on the size. If they're larger or smaller sweet potatoes, you're gonna do 3. If they're larger, then you're gonna use 2. So it comes about 3 cups. So I'm gonna put that in there because that's gonna take a little while to cook. Okay, and then the next thing I want to put in there is going to be pearl barley. I rinse the pearl barley. I don't know if pearl barley is one of those ones that has that coating on it that you're supposed to rinse, but I feel like it is. Between that and quinoa, I always give it a quick rinse and just soak it to make sure that, and there was cloudiness in it, so I was glad that I did that. So it's going to be a cup of the barley. I might have a little bit more than a cup here, so I'm just going to measure that out. Give that a quick stir. And then next I'm going to put bell peppers in there. You could use red bell pepper, you can use yellow bell pepper. I'm using one of each. And giving that a quick dice. I like to put that in a little later because I don't like them mushy. So I think I'm going to give them a quick chop and then drop them in there last. This soup is kind of like I love doing was the chop and drop. I love those types of soup. So as soon as the onion is fragrant and soft, which is about there, we'll add the liquid. But until then, I'm going to give this a quick chop. Just finely chopping them so it's a bite size. Then I'm going to set that aside for a minute and start adding the spices into here. So the next thing I'm going to put in there is Thai curry paste, and you want to get the red one, and you want 2 tablespoons of this. So do 1. This is a large teaspoon, so I'm probably just going to use what I have left in here, because I think that'll equal 2 tablespoons. And that's what you want. When you're measuring this, you do want 2 tablespoons. It looks like I used the rest of my jar. I'm going to need more, because I absolutely love this recipe. Okay, so again, it's the Thai chicken, or Thai kitchen rather, Thai paste, red paste. And that one's gone. Okay, give this a quick stir. Okay, that onion is nice and tender, and all of the barley is coated with that Thai kitchen. And then I'm going to put some vegetable stock in there. Look how dark that vegetable stock is. Isn't that beautiful? I was so surprised to see. That's 4 cups of vegetable stock. Okay, and then you're going to put an additional 2 cups of water in there. That extra. Give that a quick stir. And then what you're going to do is you're going to let that simmer until the sweet potatoes are a little soft, and then we're going to come back in and drop in the bell peppers, and then we're going to put in some garbanzo beans, or chickpeas, whatever you want to call them. So I like to cook my chickpeas myself. You can totally use canned, it's fine, either way it works. If you're going to do a can, it's 1 can. If you're going to do cooked, it's 1 cup, and it's 1.5 cups. So what I do to cook my garbanzo beans is I put it in my rice cooker. So usually, like at night, I'll throw it in the rice cooker with just water and don't turn it on. The next day, I'll drain it off, and then I'll fill it with water and put a bay leaf in there and put it on white rice cooking setting. And it cooks them great, and the bay leaf just gives it an amazing flavor. And once you just do it once, you'll never go back to can, I promise you. It's so easy and it tastes so good. I think the rice cooker takes maybe, 40 minutes or something like that. So I just turn it on and go do whatever I'm going to do, come back, and it's done. So, love that. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Okay, that's going to cook at about, probably around 20 more minutes. So we'll come back when we're going to add the rest of that. Okay, we're back. So it's been 20 minutes, and those sweet potatoes are getting nice and cooked down. We don't want them mush, but we do want them tender. And now I'm going to add the rest of the things that I didn't want to overcook. So it's going to call for 1.5 cups of chickpeas, garbanzo beans, whatever you want to call it. Oop. There's my bay leaf. So we're going to put those in so they stay nice and tender. It's 1.5 cups of that. And then I'm going to put in all of those beautiful bell peppers. Give that a quick stir. Oh, it smells so good. And it's really not going to take long from here because the sweet potatoes are the thing that took the longest. So I'm going to add my salt. Add a teaspoon of salt. And remember, you can never oversalt. Don't ever oversalt because you can always add more salt, but you can't take it out. I'm going to put some pepper in here. I think I need the same. I'm going to do a teaspoon of pepper. I like a lot of pepper in my soups. Now, this recipe also calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper, so cayenne pepper. This is not required, but a little bit of heat really like amps the flavor up. So if you're not a real big heat person, just put a little bit in. Like I'm gonna probably put about not even 1/4 teaspoon in, and then we can add more later. So we're just adjust as needed. So I really like that. The other thing that we're gonna put in just give this a quick stir, is the spinach. Now, I like to put the spinach in last because I don't like slimy spinach. I like just to have it flash cooked. And you have to think about how much you're going to be, you know, reheating this and things like that. So you don't want to put too much in. It's called for 3 cups. I guess it's not really easy to measure 3 cups. I think what I'll do is 3 handfuls because my hand is about a cup. If it's a little bit more, that's okay. So I'm using organic baby spinach. And I am one that does, you know, I like to use all organic as much as I possibly can, especially when you're talking about spinach. There's a list that is called the Dirty Dozen. That's probably more than 3 cups of spinach, but I love spinach, and it'll cook down. The Dirty Dozen is what those things that you absolutely should buy organic, and spinach is one of them. The other thing is your root vegetables, because it's underground, so you want to make sure that you get organic. Anything that's going underground, celery's on that list, and things that are berries are on the list. So you want to make sure that those things that can have high toxicity levels are, make sure you get those organic. I want to show you up close what this looks like. You see how it has a lot of liquid to it? And that's because that's another reason that you want to make sure when you put any kind of grain in a soup, I usually either leave it off to the side or you cook it or soak it in warmer water ahead of time. So this way, when you do that, it absorbs the water instead of absorbing the soup liquid that you have in there. So it looks really great. So I'm going to keep on cooking that down. The sweet potatoes are just tender, which it is already now. And that's, you know, you want to make sure that when you're cooking this, I had put the, as I mentioned at the beginning, I had taken the pearl barley and I had rinsed it off and I had soaked it, and that gave it a chance to absorb some liquid. So a lot of times when you put any kind of barley or rice or noodles or whatever into a soup, it absorbs all the liquid out, so you have nothing left. So that's another reason that it's a good idea to soak it before you do it. Let me get some of this and taste it. I'm going to taste it for seasoning. I just want to taste it. It looks amazing. Now you could, there's lots of ways you can change this out. You can definitely make it where if you wanted to put kale in here instead of spinach, you can do that. If you wanted to put any other kind of grain in there, you can. I do like the pearl barley. Let me give it a quick taste for seasoning. Make sure it doesn't need any more salt. You know what? It's good. I think it just a little bit more salt would be perfect. I just sprinkle a little in my bowl and then a little bit more in here. Probably it was a half a teaspoon. I don't know about you, but I like tasting mine in a cup. I like eating soup in a cup. Are you team cup or are you team bowl when you eat your soup? Definitely cup. Okay, there's a sweet potato. It's nice and tender. I want some of that barley in there too. I might add the rest of that's in there. Let's see. Just that a little bit of salt. It really made it. And it was just enough heat on that cayenne. I used less than a quarter. It was probably maybe add a quarter of a teaspoon. Perfect heat. It wasn't real hot. I didn't want it hot. I just wanted that flavor of the hot. Perfect. On these cold winter days of Michigan, the soup is perfect. I hope you try it and let me know if you do and if you like it. Drop a comment below and let me know if this is something that you would like to see. If you have any questions, definitely like and subscribe if this is a type of content that you would like to see, and share it with others, and I will see you on the next video.